inefficient breathing can really derail whatever it is you're trying to do. And even if it's down to, I want to show up as the best of me because I'm doing a presentation, because I'm talking to my supervisor, because I'm wanting a promotion, and you're not breathing correctly.
Hello, YouTubers. We are back again. This is Dr. Marnita on Fire with P3 Purposepreneur. And I have again, yes, she's back with us, y'all. We have again Coach Lisa, who is the CEO of Embrace Your Fitness LLC. We're about to have a dynamic conversation today. Today is my hope that we get into some conversation that's going to really help to move your lives forward in a healthy, holistic way so you can begin to produce the life of your dreams. So let me introduce to you today our guest, Coach Lisa.
Oh my gosh, Dr. Marnita, I am so happy to be here today. I love any time that we're going to share something that could change somebody's life. How about that?
Absolutely. Absolutely. So today, Coach Lisa, I know you are such a wealth of knowledge. What really intrigues me, and I wanted to have a conversation around, is the whole connection idea between mind and body, because I know we have two brains, but can you take us back to how we can begin to understand how those two are connected?
You know, I think the easiest, simplest way is for you to feel the connection. Because I could tell you a lot, and I know intellectually people can understand mountains of information, but until you feel it and you actually experience how your body can speak to itself, your stomach, your brain down in your gut can speak to the brain up in your cabeza, in your head, and you can actually communicate in a way that's going to make you know when to eat, know when to stop, know when you're really tired, know what the body is lacking in terms of nutrition. It actually has conversations. So at the root of it, how do you make your body feel? How can you feel what it's saying? Because you're not hearing words. So how can you actually feel the dialogue that's taking place? And what I love is a couple of fundamental things. We can talk about it. One is utilizing your breath to get to that feeling. That is an amazing way to get to the heart of what's happening in your body. I get juiced about it because it is like the hidden power source. It's like your superhuman power is in this breath, and you could access it like that. But then it also is a combination of really appreciating the movement of the body. So if I can combine the two of them, and I'll just tell you like one really simple thing that I love, and you can do this, and maybe if you're listening, you can get up and go to a wall right now and feel what I'm going to tell you're going to do. You put your back against the wall, you go down in that really low, not too low, know your knees, know your body, right? Know your signals, but a nice little wall sit. And the key is to do things slow, measured, with breath. And you start to feel the muscles that are being involved, even in the legs, and how you, through your breath, can really find different aspects of the muscle. It's a reconnection. Now we're talking about eating and food and all, but reconnection is all the way through. I need you to reconnect with every single muscle in your body, knowing that most of them are voluntary muscles. That means you can call them to work when you need them. You don't have to be in an action that your body just on its own knows what to do. That's fine. But did you know you can call the muscles that you know are most helpful to a certain movement on command with your mind? So the way to get that power back that a lot of us have lost is slowing motions down, something like a wall sit, to feel what are all the motions and muscles that are moving. And when I feel it, I love that you have a tagline about fire. Then you fire it up. Like, don't shy away because you feel something happening. Breathe into it, fire that muscle up. and start to really reconnect your internal understanding of movement with your mind. What has to be fired? What does it feel like? And you start to just make, it's almost like a computer program. You start to reprogram yourself to understand every single muscle in your body. And then likewise, I do that with eating. A lot of times people sit and maybe they get something that looks really good. It smells really good. And they eat it, and next thing you know, it's gone. And they didn't even know, like they consumed it. But did they really feel every bite? Did they really sense what that felt like with that, from the taste bud to how much saliva came in? Like really what happened in your body all the way through the swallowing into the stomach and slowing everything down. Boy, that is going to be your gateway into understanding this.
Coach Lisa, I love the way you laid that out for us, but for some of us, we may be novice, especially at the beginning stage of this. And so do you have some type of a strategy that you employ, especially when it comes to the breath? We take it for granted, like the way that we breathe is so automatic, we don't have to think about it. So we take it for granted. It's not a part of our consciousness, right? So when you say connect with the breath, do you have, like, for us to get started in getting into this routine, how would you suggest for a novice that we connect with breath?
I love it. So back to basics.
Back to basics, yes.
One of the things that I think is beautiful, and if you sometimes visually see something, it's helpful. So visually, to watch a young baby sleep. So YouTube video, baby laying on the back, just visually seeing that the rise and the fall, you will not see them breathing from their chest. Yes, there's breath that comes in, of course, wonderfully. Yay. We have our lungs are in that area, so we want everything to expand. But what you don't see is their shoulders going up and down. You don't see what I call the shallow breath, shallow breathing. You see really this flow. It's almost like an ocean and the waves coming in and out from the shore and the rise and fall. And it's very calming, it's very relaxing to watch. And it's even more calming and relaxing to do. So visually see what it is that we really were born to do. We go back to that. So what I love to do first is let people, get a visual of it, and then you're going to experience it. So one of the ways just to calmly do, I have a lot of people that will come to me and say, "Oh no, Lisa, I can't breathe from my diaphragm. I tried." Everyone says, take a big breath. And I see my shoulders going up. And so I used to say, hey, have a partner. And then if you take a breath and if you see the shoulders up, you each can say, because sometimes we don't know what we're doing. But now I say, because then they both are saying we're both doing the same thing. So how can I settle it? So one of the key things, and this is a really wonderful technique, try exhaling first. Don't inhale. Inhale comes with a lot of memories of what we think breathing is, because that's what we do. So when we think about breathing in, we think about, take a big thing in your chest. And naturally some people raise their shoulders all the way up to their ears. And it's a lot of learned behavior, has nothing to do with natural breathing. But because we don't exhale first, we don't have all those layers of learned behavior. So exhaling first, every bit of air out that you can. And when you think you're to the end, you blow the rest out, because there's more in there, because there's a lot more in than you think, right? And you blow it out and you'll feel, I don't want you to do anything. You'll feel as you blow the air out, a contraction. So the stomach muscles and all will start to contract towards the spine. I always say visually, it's not technically what's happening, but everything is kind of collapsing in towards the spine, and you'll feel that naturally. Hold it for 5 seconds, put your hands down in the lower area, and then take that nice inhalation in the nose. Close the mouth, only in the nose, all the way in as far as you can. And you'll feel a natural expansion of the lower part of your stomach. You'll be in your diaphragm. And I can do that for anyone, even if you're a shallow breather. It's just because you started with the exhalation. It is a simple way to really reset. And then when you do that, you're going to repeat the same thing, thinking I'm starting with the exhalation, right? You're just fooling your mind, starting with the exhalation, and you repeat that. The other thing that is a real simple thing to do is often people take a breath in and they think they've taken all the breath, but they haven't. They haven't even almost tapped it. So they say, I sniffed in, and they say, okay, I've taken all the breath I can take in. So after you've sent all that air out, you've held it for a moment, take a sniff in, hold for a second, take another sniff, hold for a second, take another sniff, hold for a second, take another sniff. As far as you can, hold and then exhale. You would be surprised at how much more air there is to take in. And then now you can work on, as you exhale, that slow exhalation. So that little trick of a mind is really going to help you to get it into the right area. And then you're going to really work on also expanding the inhalation side of things too. A lot of really wonderful things to do. Also a nice little
Is there
yeah.
particular? I know you said there's some type of an alignment that one should have with their body, like bending your knees, maybe sitting up straight, or are you laying down? Does it even matter, like how to position yourself when we're trying to connect our mind body communication? So we're aware of it. It does it naturally anyway, but oftentimes we are not aware, and that's what the whole breathing exercises for, so we can begin to put ourselves in a place where we can become aware.
Yes.
Did I say that correctly?
Posture is king and queen. It is amazing. So if you think about it, when you feel sad about something or really stressed, you tend to roll your shoulders forward. You tend to breathe shallowly because you're closing off the wonderful instrument of your lungs to be able to even take in air, right? So you're closing everything off. Things become even more shallow. So with that thought process, anytime you're opening up things, you're going to allow for more air to go to all the areas. I've been talking about the diaphragm, but obviously there's the back, the core wraps all the way around the body. So I try to get you to open up, stop being so tense on some of the muscles that you may have over time mistook core work for, I got to tense up my muscles all the time. So I want to relax those so I can really get the breath in, but ultimately it's going to go all over everywhere there is breathing, which is wrapped around from your back to the front. But in terms of the posture, I always think it's really wonderful to think about it almost like your spine. You know, when you lengthen your spine, you turn back the hands of time. It's so true. You lift it up, you really think of I used to think of a tree trunk growing through the head and really giving me that height of the beautiful prima ballerina, whatever you want to think visually that helps you in that. Shoulders rolled back so that your chest has a place of expansion when we're getting to that part of it. That's a wonderful thing when you're seated. I like to try to do the exercises seated, standing, laying, because sometimes people will find that, well, I could get the diaphragm to do what I want. I could feel it because partly you're feeling it, you're seated, so you can feel it against your legs, you can feel something. You stand, it's a different sensation. So you really want to be able to do that exercise of exhaling first and then breathing in, seated, and try to stand against the wall. So, you know, sometimes you're taking other variables out so you can really just focus on what the feelings are in the breath. Laying down is fabulous. First thing, I do wonderful exercises, this same exercise, breathing, laying down. And one other position is laying on the floor on your back up against the wall. So your butt is really, your gluteus is right up against the wall. Your legs are on the wall, running up the wall. And that is a wonderful position for de-stressing the body. It's a wonderful stretch, but it also is a great way to start the day. You can get so many dividends out of that. And definitely people that are trying to also breathe and keep their stomach in alignment and all of those, that is a wonderful exercise. I have all of my clients to do that and to understand the really wonderful things for.
And so once we have positioned ourselves with our breath, and now we have our positioning, and this takes practice. So don't think you're going to get it right coming out the gate, right, Right, Coach Lisa? This
I'm gonna
gonna
get
take
it out the gate, and please stop thinking that because I didn't get it in 1 minute.
like you
I
gonna go
tried.
and it's gonna come. It's not. So give it some time. It is a practice.
Yeah.
It is not a one and done. It's something that you should, I would imagine, Coach Lisa, incorporate in a daily routine for yourself. Give yourself, it's like giving yourself some time. This is your time, right? Is that correct?
It's your time. But I want to think about it. I always say, think about it in this paradigm. This is the true measure of health. How
Mm.
you breathe is tied to the diseases that attack your body. How you breathe is even tied to your efficiency on your exercise or losing weight or any of the things that you find is really big and you put as the number one for you. Inefficient breathing can really derail whatever it is you're trying to do. And even if it's down to, I want to show up as the best of me because I'm doing a presentation, because I'm talking to my supervisor, because I'm wanting a promotion, and you're not breathing correctly, you are not nourishing your brain cells correctly. You will not show up the best of you. So this is at that level. I need it to be for you. One of the things that you say, this is paramount importance. If I don't have this right, nothing else will flow from my body, from my mind, from anything that I do will not flow as it should because I'm not breathing. So if you put it in that paradigm, and yes, I need you to start the morning with at least 5 minutes, 5 minutes out of the millions of minutes of a day. 5 minutes of focused breathing is going to really reset and set you for the day of true intention. And it really is this nourishing way for your cells to say, oh my God, they're letting oxygen come into me, like now I'm going to show up for you in a different way. Right. So I love the one that I showed you or talked about on the ground to start for the 5 minutes. It's just a great way. It's just going to help you in so many different ways. 5 minutes. Then the other thing I say before you eat, every meal before you eat, you need to do 5 really powerful diaphragmatic breaths. And that's breathing out first. And that's because sometimes you're not hungry. You're hungry for breath, not for food. And you will not know that until you nourish your body with the breath to say, okay, yeah, now I got the breath. No, but I still want something. It's a way to start to really understand what your body's asking you for. And then, so that's before every meal. So you know that. And then the other thing I always have people that I work with do is before any important thing you need to do, you need to do one good solid minute of breathing. If it's a phone call, if it's a meeting, if it's anything where you need to show up mentally at your sharpest, you need to give yourself at least 1 minute of focused diaphragmatic breathing, really intense. And to allow that focus to come, it's going to help on all the things we talked about. But now you're going to be able to show up in the ways. So think how many times I've just put breathing in there, little pockets of it. But that's the way that you really retrain. You don't retrain one time a week breathing. I went to a class, that's not the way to retrain, and that's not the way to nourish your body in the ways that it needs. I'm just going to breathe in and breathe out and use this moment of mindful meditation to allow you to reset, to feel the power that is within you to take yourself to next levels. And that breathing is one that allows you to exhale. And think about the exhalation being twice as long as the inhalation, sometimes 3 times as long as the inhalation. And now we're going to get back our understanding of our body and our understanding of how it works from the inside out. Quite amazing, quite incredible. But if you can give 20 breaths of that exhale first, inhale 20 times. And on the last exhalation, just to hold your breath for 20 seconds. So incredibly amazing for you and so incredibly purposeful for what it can mean to your body. It is literally nourishing every cell of your body. And if you think about your cells, every single one having an engine, inside, and it needs to be nourished, every single cell. This is a way to really kind of work your body from the inside out, which is amazing. I do this daily. And if you did that once, twice, or 3 times with the 20 breaths, I'm going to guarantee you're going to feel a sense of energy you've not felt. You may feel a little lightheadedness. Sometimes people get tingling in their skull, but at the end of the day, what you really get is a sense of renewal, being refreshed, ready to start your day. If I could just sneak in a little cold shower for 30 seconds. After you're warmed, you shower up and do just cold. Your cells internally that run all the way down your circulatory system is just going to love you even more. And that little shock to the system, plus all this extra oxygen and carbon dioxide that you're allowing to flow through your system, is going to not only waken you, but it's going to be a protective barrier against disease. And anyway, at the end of the day, it's going to be your superpower, which you will be able to live and to love on, which is incredible. So I'm so happy that I had an opportunity to be here with everyone today. And I am here. Yes, Coach Lisa. You have all the ways. I'm in Dr. Marnita's Facebook group. I'm all the ways to communicate with me. You can call me your breath boss, and I want to get you healthy from the inside out. I always call it top down, inside out. So thank you so much.